What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So today what I want to start working on is let's try and get some more Awakened Draconium. I think that's what I want to do. So we're going to have to get into Draconic Evolution. And in order to do the ritual to respawn the dragon so we can get more hearts, we're going to need to do the ritual, and we need the book so I know exactly what it is that we need to do. So there's the knowledge to the max achievement. So Draconic Evolution. So let's go to Index. We want to look for the Ritual of Draconic Resurrection. I think, I don't think it's just the Resurrection Stone. Maybe it is. Let's look at the Resurrection Stone. No, that's the key component in the Ritual of Draconic Resurrection. Okay, so we did not get to where I needed to be. Are these things in like some kind of alphabetical order, or did I pass it already? I'm not sure. The Ritual of Draconic Resurrection right here. Okay, so we need a Resurrection Stone, 4 Glowstone, 4 Obsidian, 4 Diamond Blocks, 4 Charged Draconium Blocks, and then 12 Quartz Pillars. Alright, so Quartz, that's easy enough. I think the pillars are just these stacked on top of each other, right? So let's make 64. That seems reasonable. What about Draconium? I don't think this stuff requires to be smelted, or you know what? I'm completely wrong. It does. So let's grab 9 stacks of this and we'll turn that into a stack of blocks. All right, so we'll flip that lever on, this one on, that one's off, and that one's on. Okay, so we can go ahead and put all of that stuff in here, melt it all down, and cast out a bunch of draconium blocks. There we go. These are all casting out just fine, I think. Yep. So now that we have the draconium blocks, we need to charge these too. It can't just be regular draconium. It has to be charged draconium. So we can stick that down here in our capacitor bank, I believe. Let's put one like that. Is that charging up? Yeah, it says it's charging up, right? I think. Are they charged? Oh, maybe they're charged. Okay, maybe that happened pretty quickly. This one's done. This one's done. Those are done. Okay, now I'm going to take damage because another star generator is kicking back on. Cool. All right, so we're done. I put the Witherless Rose away because I felt like it wasn't very useful. Let me put that in my inventory. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's not very useful to keep on me all the time, I guess I should say. So now we also need to get ourselves a Resurrection Stone, which is this thing. So we need draconium block plus wyvern cores. Let's make like 16 of these, I guess. That seems good. We'll let that cook up. I'll come over and grab some more of these draconium blocks. All right, I think that's all of them. 52 of them, maybe. Okay, so we have that done, and 1, 2, 3. How many more of these mob souls do we have? We have 3 more, so I can do 1 more of these things, but I only made enough for this many. I think we'll put those all away for now. I kind of want to make a mob spawner out of the mob soul for the slime, a draconium one, stabilized mob spawner. I think that'll just be better overall. Okay, so we also need glowstone, I think. Some obsidian, if I remember right. And is there anything else that we need for this? Oh my goodness, I can't remember. Resurrection Stone, Glowstone, Obsidian, Diamond Blocks. That's what we're missing, Diamond Blocks. And there we go. Okay, now I think we should have everything, and then 12 Quartz Pillars. Cool. Let me go set this up in the end then. We can use our little warpity warp thingy. Home, last millennium nether, the end. All right, so last time we were here, we were doing our extra utilities. Is that what it is? Extra utilities, second tier of this thing. I believe in order. Oh, look at this. There's even this guy left over from that before. I thought all those guys went away, and he dropped a Wither Skeleton Skull. How nice of him. Yeah, so I think you have to be within a certain distance of the pillar in order to do the resurrection ritual. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up right here. I think it has to be a 3x3 is what you set the thing down as. All right, let's take a look at the thing one more time so I don't mess this up. So it needs to be obsidian on the 4 corners and then glowstone. I'm sorry, on the 4 sides, glowstone on the 4 corners, resurrection stone in the center, right? And then we need the pillar things. Now I know it doesn't say that or it says that you don't have to put them in the exact same configuration, like you just make a wall out of them. I'm just gonna do it just like this. So was it 3 out or was it 2 out? I don't think it matters. That looks like 3 out. Okay, so we'll do that. One there, one there. So those have diamond blocks on them. Cool. And then we need to do, I think it's right there is how they do it in the book. Like that, and like that. Cool. And then we can put the charged draconium on there. Now, if I remember right, the only thing we have to do at this point is just right-click the resurrection stone. So we'll do that here in just a second. Let me clear out my inventory so when we do spawn the dragon, we kill it, we have room for like where all that stuff is going to go. I think that's fine. So I have my bow on me. I have arrows. Make sure everything's set up to be correct. Let's right-click it. All right, so it's just going to take no time at all. I thought it was going to take a little bit of time for the dragon to appear, but no, looks like that time has been shortened. So 1 hit, 2 hit. Okay. Cool. That's a very easy thing to do. Yeah, especially with the bow that we have, the crossbow, the bolts or whatever. Like we do massive amounts of damage to the dragon. All right, so it's just a matter of resetting this thing up a few more times. We'll get 3 hearts and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, the other 2 dragon fights were pretty uneventful. Same kind of thing, nothing special happening with them. So now we got the 3 hearts. Well, I guess there's only 1 left. I've already done 2 recipes of these. 1 heart left, 16 cores. Just do a little explosion next to the heart. Gets it ready to accept the cores. When it gets the cores, all 16 of them, 4 per block, it can turn the charged draconium into the awakened draconium, which is awesome. So what I'd like to do with these blocks that we're getting right now, first and foremost, I would like to get our nether star plants online. Currently we have 4 plants going, 4 out of 9. It takes one of these blocks of draconium or awakened draconium under each plant in order to get it to grow. So we're going to take 5 additional of these blocks, 5 of these blocks we just made, and add that to our nether star farm. Let's go and turn that off. It'll be laggy here for a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be laggy here while the plants continue to fully grow. But yeah, we have those plants right there, just 4 of those. Let's go ahead and fix this up so we have the rest of these things down here all growing like they should. I'm going to have to rearrange this thing. There's that. Yeah, okay, so that's a 3x3 area. All right, so we need the redstone, item conduit, and the energy conduit. Oop, not there. Nice try, energy conduit. There we go. All right, so now all of those plants should be growable. Yeah, it looks like they're all growing just fine. I might even want to put some more sprinklers here to make these things grow that much faster so we can collect nether stars that much faster. How many do we have right now? We have 27,000 with 4 plants going. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Well, we're going to be getting a little bit over twice the speed now, which is going to be really good. Yeah, look at all the EMC that we have there. It's so much. It's just going in that little scrolling stuff. So we have 27,534 nether stars. Yeah, that's going to be really, really good. So we'll be getting those all the time. We won't have to worry about running out of these things for our power or whatever. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, it looks like we're getting one about every 5 seconds or so. It seems like, give or take, something like that. It's all kind of random based on the delay of the plants growing. There is the imaginary time block we'll be looking at eventually where it'll basically instant grow like the entire crop field. Yeah, it'll get a little crazy. Nether stars are great for getting EMC for that a little bit later. Unfortunately, we're still not quite at the point where we can do EMC. But now that we have a little bit of awakened draconium, we can look at making these awakened cores. These are kind of important for doing the stabilized spawner, so you can give it to the last tier or whatever. Let's go ahead and make a recipe for those things, just so we have that available. So it's this right here. Do we have the wyvern cores? We do. Okay, so we should be able to make this thing. Cool. And then we should probably also make another pattern so it knows that it can take this and turn it into the ingots like so. Awesome. So the cores, yeah, let's go ahead and add this here, and we will add that there. So now we should be able to auto-craft all of the different cores, which is amazing. Okay, so we should look at getting ourselves a stabilized mob spawner. Now, in order to do that, we need to get ourselves the cores, the draconic cores. Let's grab 16 of those. I'll keep those in my pouch, I guess. And we need to go find ourselves some spawners to click that on. We can't use the broken spawners that we have. I'm trying to think, where would be a good place to collect some mob spawners? Maybe the nether? We could get a bunch of blaze ones. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what they are after we stabilize them, because you stabilize them, you break them, and it's no longer of that type anymore. Maybe the nether would be good? Maybe. I was almost thinking the Urbis might be good as well, but I know those are different type of spawners there. I guess we'll go to the nether. I'll go find some blaze spawners, we'll stabilize them, and then we will look at making a better slime farm. Alright guys, so I just flew off into the nether. I think it was the north. Yeah, we flew off from our spawn to the north. I was just looking for a brand new nether fortress, and I figured we would do the first stabilized spawner together. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I don't remember if there's any quirks about it. So draconic core, right click, that's it. Now it's a stabilized spawner. So I break it, now I have a stabilized mob spawner with nothing in there. When I turn into a stabilized mob spawner the first time, it is still of a type of blaze. So if we wanted to, we could stabilize the spawners and then put all the upgrades in there and make it a super fast spawner. Ah, here's another one right here. Cool. Get rid of you, get rid of you. And break it. Okay. So now we got 2 stabilized mob spawners. Awesome. So the more of those we have, the more different types of mobs we can spawn in. Yeah, and then I believe with the stabilized mob spawner with all the upgrades in there, like it'll spawn up to five mobs every 2 seconds or something. Like it's really, really fast. Anyway, can I get through here? Thank you. Wonder how many more blaze spawners we might have in this fortress. There might be one more down here. Nope, dead ends. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep looking around, see if I can get some more of these spawners. Try and get some more stabilized mob spawners, and we'll be right back, guys. So I kind of forgot about our little slime spawning platform down here. It looks like it's doing pretty well. I don't know, guys. We don't really need this anymore. Let's go ahead and get rid of this, because we already have all the slimes we're ever gonna need. Don't vein mine this. Bye-bye, slimes. I'll see you later. Yeah, we definitely don't need that anymore. It's cool that that worked pretty good. Yeah, when I was trying to get the first slime to spawn, though, like, it took forever for those things to appear, but now it's just like they're spawning all the time. But we just don't need them spawning down there in the vanilla natural type of spawning situation, so yeah, we'll just go and get rid of those. So I ended up getting 9 stabilized mob spawners. We still got 7 of those draconic cores remaining, so we can set up, yeah, a bunch of these things. So I think these are set up very similar to what we already have there, except they don't require power, but you can turn them on and off with a redstone signal. Let's grab one of these slime souls that are down here. Things look so weird because it's like 3 different sizes of slimes. I'm underneath the walkways. Like, am I not getting out from underneath there? All right, so anyway, we'll come down here. I guess we'll get a whole bunch of cheaty XP because I don't know how to stop that from happening. Break this thing. We will break this thing. Cool. And then all we need to do is put a stabilized mob spawner, I think right here? Or is that going to block some of the mob spawning? Does it need to be 3 blocks lower for the tall slimes? I don't know. Anyway, I don't think we're going to be hurting for slimes anytime soon. So let's go ahead. We'll grab our Yeta wrench because we need to set it so it is a forced connection. There's that. All right, so now we need to put in the different cores into it. So we need an awakened core, We need one of the wyvern cores that changes it from the tier 1 to the tier 2 and the tier 3, having all of these things together. Where'd it go? This one? Cool. We'll put those in there now. Now I think there's also like a golden apple you put in there and a nether star. And I don't remember which one does which, but stars don't really matter. We have all of them, so we can put one of those in there. And I think it's a notch apple. We have plenty of gold blocks. And apple, we have 34 of those. All right, let's make one of these and we will click that on there. All right, so if you hold shift and look at the tooltip, says requires player another star, ignore spawn requirement, notch apple. Then we have the wyvern core and the awakened core in there. I think we're all set. So if we click this on there, nothing happens because we have the redstone signal. And if we turn that off, like, we're gonna spawn in all of the slimes, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna get a little crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I need to lower that spawner down one. Or I guess we could raise the roof up one more block, one way or the other. I guess for right now, let's get rid of this. There's really not a lot of reason to have that there anymore. Since we have ignore spawn requirement. Oh my goodness, that is gonna be so many slimes. Yeah. So I did try and rearrange this a little bit. So this is the only part of the conveyor belt which pushes forward. The other one just kind of like spin the slimes around till they get to this point, and then they should filter down in there. Now you can see right now this is very inefficient, right? They're fighting each other, they're pushing themselves around. The best way really to do this is by putting like a Draconic Evolution portal directly underneath the spawner. So as they spawn, they fall into the portal, and the portal warps them right into the middle of the spawn chamber down there. I think that's what we're going to end up having to change this thing to. So let me go ahead and let all of these guys kill themselves. They'll eventually work their way down there. We're going to want to get ourselves the Dislocator Receptacle, which is a Draconic core. Yep. Draconium infused obsidian, so that is blaze powder, obsidian, and draconium dust. Pretty simple. A dislocator pedestal, and then some iron. So we need that, and then we need a bunch of these draconium infused obsidian for the frame. I guess we can start setting up some auto crafting for that. Let's take the fast way over. Okay, so let's do that. So we want these on auto craft. That makes 4 of them. Nice. We're gonna want one of these on auto craft as well. Go ahead and drag one of those guys here so we can fill out the recipe. There's that thing. Dislocator. I don't think we had those in AutoCraft, but we have a few of those in the system already, so it's not that big of a deal. I don't know how many of these portals we're going to make in the future. If we make a lot, I guess we can set up a recipe for the Dislocator portals, or receptacles. Where do we put this? Let's put it, how about right here with the other Draconic Evolution stuff. Okay, so we're going to need some of the infused obsidian. I don't know how much we need. Let's make 100. That's going to be more than what we need for right now, but I'm sure we'll use those later. And then we're going to need 1 Dislocator Receptacle. I should probably make a pattern for the Dislocator itself. Let's do that. Make a pattern for you. And I'll just craft one so I have it available. Yeah, we'll add this one to the same line down there. Cool. All right, so now what we need to do, I need to stand on top of that spike in the center, which is kind of scary. In fact, what I'll probably end up doing is just break that spike out. Yeah, because these spikes hurt now, because they are sharpness 5. Let's break this out. It'll get sucked right into the system. So I think right here is about where I want this thing. So we could face the window, I suppose. Actually, no, we want to be right here. All right, so we'll face this way, shift right click. So this is now set to be in that spot. We need to go grab that spike to replace the one that got sucked into the system. It looks like it is right here. Yeah, we could also add looting to these. That's one of the things I did forget. When I was adding all the enchantments, I knew there was another enchantment we could put on here. I was having a hard time remembering which one it was that I wanted to do. Yeah, looting would be another one that we could put on there. Okay, so now that we got all of that done, we can, I think, Let's turn our magnet on. I think this is the layer of blocks we want to get rid of. That could be our draconium, infused obsidian. Alright, yeah, we're getting some of the cheaty experience. Not really much I can do. I think if you do a server restart, that fixes the problem. I don't really know for sure, though. I assume that's what it is. But anyway, we don't need the magnet on right now. So let's go ahead and add in this stuff all along here. Is that the center? That looks like the center to me. We can put the receptacle right like that. And then we can finish filling in the rest of this stuff. I guess we can do it from the inside. It might be a little bit easier. There we go. So make a nice portal. I think eventually what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all these conveyor belts in this whole spawning room. And I'll probably move this as well. But for right now, I think this will just get us going so we can get a lot of the mob souls really quickly. Okay, so I need to put the dislocator right in there. So now the portal's on. So if we turn that on, the slime should spawn and immediately get warped down into the spikes. Yeah, so that's going to be so much better. We'll be getting all the XP. We're going to be getting all the loot bags and stuff. The slimes are being warped right on there. They don't have to fight the conveyor belts at all, which is amazing. So now if we take a look here for our mob soul, we should see these things climbing at a decent rate. Although we only have 10 right now, I would have expected to see a lot more in there. I wonder, are we having problems keeping up with the mob drops in this chest? Like, do I have to upgrade some of this stuff maybe? No, it looks like everything's going right. I would have expected to see more mob souls though. We have 11. I wonder if they nerfed that a little bit, having the Reaper 5 on the spikes with slimes. I remember getting a whole ridiculous amount of mob souls this way before. I don't know. Anyway, we'll let this go for a little while so we can get a nice stockpile of those, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, well I went ahead and I tore down most of the mob farm. We're not going to be using the passive vanilla style spawning anymore. There's no reason to. So yeah, we got rid of all of that. I added a floor to the bottom underneath the portal. Seemed like slimes were kind of going through the portal or maybe spawning just below it or whatever. Anyway, yeah, we put that there just to make sure that nothing is going to fall through and get out. So yeah, this is going pretty good now. So souls that we have, 75 slime souls. Not bad. We can spawn in a few more dragons with that. I like it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do to wrap up the rest of the episode for today, we were kind of working with some quests last time, and we got another quest that I'd like to do today. So we had one here for the last millennium. This just required us to have that in our inventory. So yeah, I broke that and I placed it in my inventory. So this quest is now completed. We made this portal a long time ago. So let's go ahead and claim that. But what I wanted to do was the magical wood quest. So we need 30 pieces of magical wood. So we can do that pretty easily. All we need to do is get 4 books with Flim Flam 4 on there. So let's grab some emerald. Plenty of emeralds now. So that's Flim Flam 4. Okay, I wasn't sure if I needed all of those in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's all we need. So magical wood, I believe, requires a bookshelf, which I don't think we have. How are we doing on books? Oh, we're gonna need some more books. Let's make 2 more. All right, and then we need some planks. I think we can use... Oh, we don't have any planks. I thought we had more than that. I guess not. All right, so there's 16 planks. So there is our bookshelf. So now we should be able to make magical wood, I think. Oh, it won't go in there. Okay, the Flim Flam, I think, is preventing that from happening. All right, so that's fine. We need the bookshelf here. I think these go on the 4 cardinal directions. That's sharpness. Flim Flam. What else did I do here? That's another sharpness. Flim Flam. Okay, so that's all good. And then gold. There you go. There's 30 magical wood. And that completes the quest. We had a little bit more magical wood, only 15 pieces though, so that wasn't quite enough. But yeah, now we have enough here. So this is now completed. Let's grab that loot chest. All right, so I think quarry upgrades. Yeah, these are things we can work on a little bit later. We don't really have a need for the ender quarry at the moment. So anyway, let's pop this. We get a fortune cookie. All right, what's the fortune cookie say? Collect all 99 fortunes for a surprise. I don't think there is a surprise for that. And this one, we get red matter armor. Cool. So we gotten this one before. This is a lot of EMC for the armor. Actually, I guess we've gotten it twice before. So yeah, we'll go ahead and convert all that to EMC when we get to the point where we can actually do that. 21 lives remaining. All right, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. Yeah, getting stabilized mob spawners online, that's going to be awesome. That'll allow us to start setting up mob spawners for every single type of monster. Since we can spawn them whenever, and there's nothing special required for them, and we can warp them where we want. Yeah, we could use a single killing chamber or make multiple killing chambers for all the different monsters we want to do. It just really depends how we want to set this thing up. Oh, look at that slime. You got free. Huh, okay, well, a little bit of work left on the slime situation, I suppose. Normally, when I do these farms, I sandwich the spawner between two different warps. So if they spawn above the portal or below the portal, they get warped regardless. So things like that won't happen. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, where's the slime going to go? Into the void? Takes care of itself. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.